So, talking about support system, love, encouragement, you talk about one major person. He was by my bedside. He called his name again. Sorry, permission. I won't say his name again because he's my mentor. Is it because he's your mentor? It's your man.
He's my mentor.
He's your mentor. Your head is there. So, how long have you been married?
For 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Wow. That's great. So, I think one place I want to pick first is the two of you are two different people. So, we have settled the bookworm versus learn work.
Yes.
How do you balance that?
Okay.
Let me start picking it one by one like that. Because that's why I want to start from your differences. You know now, there are plenty. Let me start with that. There are plenty. How do you balance that?
Okay, so I think I took for granted how different we were. I just thought, oh, this one loves God. I love God because we both love God.
Let go.
Everything will be perfect. A lot of things were different for us, and we started the foundation of our marriage on those differences.
Wow.
And we didn't really have mentorship. So we started with so much friction and struggle. I didn't even really know him. I knew his friends. I didn't really know him. But I just thought, oh, because he's in this circle, then they all have the same mindset and everything. So that was why I fell in love with him. But getting married to him, I realized, okay, this is a totally different person from the idea you fell in love with is different from the person that
It's
you're
not
in
just
love.
about him. A lot of times.
A lot of times.
We fall in love with the idea
of
an
the person,
individual,
exactly.
and
And
except
then,
if you're coming already like mentored.
yes.
Already, but even when you already know, you have counseling, you will still see the idea is different from reality and begin to like.
I thought it was different from my own case.
I wish we can take a poll right now. But it's just the level of maturity, the level of mentorship, counseling that makes the gbas less and makes the compatibility. But a lot of times, there are times where you take for granted this is the idea of this person, and you begin to like, what's going on. Then you're able to see, what we say in counseling is perspective. You have a broader perspective, a better perspective. You're able to see through the right lens, and that's one that helps. But at times, how you're seeing things is different from how your spouse is seeing things, or how you're seeing things is different from how you should see things. But when you get the principles right, then you can see right. So that was one major. So you had to unlearn and
yes, a lot of things. So before we got married, I remember when we were dating, there used to be a lot of okay, we all know that when you're in a relationship and you're in love, there's always this sexual pressure between both of you. And so, like, every now and then, he was always putting, like, pressure on me to, like, touch. And I'll be like, babe, stop, stop, stop. And then he'll be like, this stop you're telling me. When we get married, don't tell me stop. I don't want to ever hear stop. I'm like, don't worry now, when we get married, I will not say stop. That was the first shocker for me. I didn't know that as a Christian girl, growing up with the mindset of stop, 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 that when you get married, you have to reset that mindset.
and avoiding sex.
Yes, to now say, okay, now we can. And so when we got married, I think that was what even brought the most issues for us in our relationship, because I got pregnant.
More than money.
Which
one costs fight more? Sex costs more fight
more than money. Yes.
Okay.
Sex than money.
They always do
family. Exactly. So when we got married, I got pregnant almost immediately. I started having nausea. So it's like, don't come near me. He'll try to touch me and I'm like, oh, you're smelling. I was even smelling for myself. So you can imagine. So it became something that he was just like, you scammed me. You scammed me. You said you will not be saying stop. And now you're just saying stop. And I think it's something that up until now, we haven't really gotten the balance, yes. I think we have just come to realize that, see, marriage is not all about It's not all about sex. It's about you just trying to understand how to, like, be there.
Having married sex is not about how often.
Yes.
Or how gragra. Or how
yes.
in the movies. Now put
Exactly,
off your shirt.
Oma.
Now show your chest. You now carry the person on top of the table. You now do gymnastics.
When you now come
getting to know each other,
yes.
intimacy, understanding, meeting the need of your partner.
Yes.
While your partner focuses on meeting your own need,
needs.
and then you grow over time. It gets sweeter. Sweetness
Yes.
kicks. And that gets sweeter, finer with wine over time. Then the intellectual thing.
Okay. Now,
since he's more cerebral,
than
he's more driven when it comes to numbers, books, and everything. You are more of the creative person.
Yes.
So how has that affected you guys?
Okay.
Or how has that worked for you guys?
Funny enough, I am more like, I'm the more like determined person that can push through. So even though I am not very book smart, it is like the other way around in our marriage, because for me it became like, okay, this is a challenge that I want to break out of. So I became the one like pushing. Sometimes you'll be like, why are you taking this thing too seriously? Maybe growing up from being raised in an academic environment and all, so it gave me that push to want to do more. And so that's where, for us, since for him it just comes naturally. He reads easily and then he remembers easily. So sometimes it's very annoying because I'm like, why is it very easy for you to
Life
read and understand, and then me it's harder for me? And so when I'm trying to push through, he's like, why are you taking this thing seriously? Even in the children's education, now that we have children, I'm the one who takes out time to read with them. I'm the one who says, why your grades like this? And he is like, this is not such a big deal. So I think it's like...
So you have grown.
Yes.
Are you thinking, or you have applied yourself and you have grown and you're taking your growth for granted?
Maybe.
No, this is eye-opener.
Maybe.
Yes, you're taking your growth for granted.
Yeah.
Even though, yes, you're not the effico, but you know, there's a way you've been able to apply yourself to bring, because that's what I was saying. Because right now, if you think about the books of your business, think about the system and the structure you have been able to put into. Let's even say, yes, you are catching pictures, you are replicating pictures, but to be able to replicate those pictures, there are ways you have had to apply yourself intellectually. So there's a way you guys are more intellectually intimate, because that's one thing I say, there's intimacy on different level, intellect,
I think that's
emotional.
True. Because yes, I remember there are times when we just recently got married, there are times when he'll be talking and I'm not there, like I'm missing. What are you even saying?
You said?
Exactly. So yes, it happened a lot. Like I had to like keep upgrading and upgrading. And very true. There are times that we'll be having conversations, maybe we have guests, like my husband's family, they are so intelligent. Jesus Christ.
Because that's the next thing I was going to say.
Jesus Christ.
Your family versus his family,
they
different.
Are so intelligent.
So when it comes to conversations, what their values were,
exactly,
was like how you pimp two children. Everybody is wondering. Like how the people you get on meeting were like, what do you do?
Yes.
What do you do? Where? So I think there's a lot of growing you have done and adapting you have done that you're taking for granted over the years.
Yes, so, very true.
Kudos,
very true.
Then the intertribal thing. The fact that you're a northern girl that married a Yoruba. I like to see it like that, a Yoruba man. You know, how has that been? Has it really had any effect? Or
thankfully, they don't carry the Yoruba culture on their head in their family. So aside from the in-laws, that I remember the first time I came to Lagos, when I got back home, my knees, I knelt down, for everybody.
So in the north, you don't kneel.
We don't kneel. We just greet like maybe you just go down a bit like this. Like you don't go on your two knees to greet. So when I came, in fact, after I left Lagos, all my friends parents that I went to visit, I had already gotten used to it. I was just going on both knees. So for me, it wasn't really a big deal because yes, his mom had passed on. I was just dealing with his sisters, and they don't really carry the Yoruba thing on their head. So it was
a very
easy sale.
smooth
My parents too are not. I remember my dad didn't want me to get married to a Yoruba guy. He was like, "Why are you going all the way?" But I had already made up my mind that I was not going to marry from my side. From the beginning, yes.
Why?
Growing up, I saw the way Kaduna men treated their wives, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be in this. It's not everybody, but it's a common thing. Everybody knows that they are very domineering. They want to be in control and all of that. So I didn't want that. My dad was different, and I just looked at my dad, and I knew it was rare to find this kind of person. So I kept on looking for my dad in every man that I saw. So I remember that I also didn't want to marry a Yoruba guy. I'd already said, okay, no Yoruba.
UK.
No.
You are my wife.
But when I heard his name, Ejimi, I thought he was like from South. I didn't know he was a Yoruba guy. It was after I'd already fallen for this guy that he told me that he was Yoruba. I'm like, okay, so I'm already in love with you.
But we're all children of God. Anyway, and the Yoruba world doesn't even speak Yoruba.
He doesn't too.
So, So which language do your children speak? Because that's another thing.
English.
English. They don't speak Hausa.
No.
At all, so it's just English.
Just English. But we are going to start working on that.
Which one? So which one are you going to face?
We want to teach them both. Yes.
When the two of you, but you speak Hausa well?
Not very well, but just like, yes, normal.
So please, physician, heal thyself. Since you and your husband, you don't speak your languages that well, and you are planning for your resilience.
Yes. We want to get somebody to train, like somebody to teach them Hausa and Yoruba.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Why is that important to you?
I don't know, but when this trip that we came to Lagos, we were speaking with the person who stood in as father for my husband on our wedding day, and he was asking that, okay, do your children speak any language? And we're like, no. And he's like, it's not done. They should be able to at least speak a language that how can you be Nigerian and you can't speak any Nigerian language? So after he spoke with us, like, it made so much sense that even if I can't teach them, because I know that my parents never taught me our language, because Hausa is not even my language.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So we don't have any language to communicate with. I could just imagine if Seba and Jael have another language that they could communicate with, it would be nice. Even in public, they could say things to themselves that, like, they could say private things to themselves. So I said, okay, we're taking this as a challenge. When we get back, we'll teach them.
So Mary has added something else, and I'm sure you're going to face it with so much determination and grit again.
Yes,
and I look forward to how beautiful that journey is going to be. Yes, that's another place I'm going to tease you. How from one it became two sharp. Two since nothing has happened. What changed today? You see, I'm ready for you. I'm planning for you.
I'm ready now.
I'm getting in the spirit.
I'm ready now. I was receiving the twins you were praying.
You are ready? You want twins?
I'm ready.
One boy,
twins
one girl.
Yes.
Hey! Hope is a powerful woman. Hey, Lee! See our life. Hope was not too much children. What are you doing with your life?